So y'all see what's happening, right? Y'all see the meteors, right? But what I say though, right? What I say? Y'all gotta excuse my neighbors. They got kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? Little kids. I don't be too much on their ass, but what I say though? What I say, man? Right? We seeing all the events take place on the surface of the land that we was told about 20, 30 years ago, okay? So here's one of the events that they said that we will see, and that's, there you go, meteors. Meteors, right? So yesterday, what did they say, right? What did they say? Now this ain't no fucking coincidence. I want y'all, because a lot of people gonna try to sit here and act like these things are coincidence, but there's no coincidence about it. Alright? They said that we will see meteors, right? Because we will be going into the tail of this thing. Make no mistake, right? Everything else that you see is from this solar object, whatever y'all want to call this shit. I ain't gonna call it no names because there's very many names for it. Now, we're seeing the meteors, right? Not only is we seeing the earthquakes, I mean the meteors, but we're seeing the flooding, right? Right? Y'all seeing the flooding? We seeing the flooding, right? All the different, you know, fucking little incidents when it comes to flash floods and all of that. We see the meteors, right? Pay attention. See the meteors, right? We see the earthquakes, all right? All right, you see all the events taking place that they warned you that was coming. They also mentioned bird deaths, right? They said the birds was gonna be flying out the sky, falling out the sky and shit. They gonna be all disordered and shit, and all messed up in the head, not flying, not moving. Like you gonna be able to jump at a bird. Bird ain't gonna go nowhere. Like you gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying? You know how a bird don't even sit there for enough time for you to, you know, do that. But they gonna be all in streets and shit, just sitting there, not moving and none of that. And this is because the poles, the magnetic poles, probably have moved a little bit more. Whenever the poles get fucked with, the birds get confused. The birds need the poles to fly. Never forget that. So that's a big sign right there. When the birds get to getting all agitated and fucked up, not flying, and I ain't talking about just one area where you see a parking lot full of birds. Anything could have happened to cause them birds to do what they did. But I'm talking about nationwide though. All around this planet. Motherfuckers seeing birds do weird shit. And I ain't talking about just your ordinary bird. I'm talking about all different types of birds. Because all birds need the pole to fly. Just about. Right? So when we start seeing all these birds not moving, you walking down the street, bird won't move and shit. And it's more than 20, 30 of them motherfuckers. They all over the ground. Big sign. Right? When we get you see they having this training or this exercise for earthquakes and shit in Missouri. What you think that's for? They already told us, right? Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper into the matter of concern, right? They already told us. They told us earthquakes, right? Earthquakes, what they say? 9 plus. Earthquakes 9 plus, right? We're gonna start to see earthquakes 9 plus on the Richter. Look right there where it's underlined at. Right? Make no mistake, people, right here, earthquakes 9 plus, right? We'll start to see them 9 plus. They're gonna start off like they is now. 5s, more 5s, 3s, more 3s, places you never seen them in. Illinois, like you know, they probably seen little quakes here and there, right? But you're going to start seeing these motherfuckers everywhere. Like, damn, why is it earthquakes here? Why is it earthquakes there? And that's because the core of the earth has stopped. Right? And with the core of the earth not spinning, because you know it spins. So when it spins, I guess, I don't know how that shit works, it stops the magma from rising. But now that the core has stopped, the magma is just flowing. The magma just flowing everywhere. It ain't spinning how it was. So it's rising, which is causing, right? You ain't seeing it because it's so far up in the ground that you probably can't see the shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need like some type of heat, you know, seeper type of, you know, some type of heat shit to signal that where it's at. But you can tell by the cracking of the grounds. Just watch. Just watch. This shit gonna happen everywhere. It ain't just gonna be in Wyoming, Brazil, shit like this. Shit gonna be in your backyard. You gonna walk outside, cracks gonna be from fucking north to east, south to west. What the fuck? And then ain't gonna be no little drought cracks. Nah, these motherfuckers gonna be 2 inches and 3 inches and shit like that. Why? Like, what the fuck? Deep. You motherfuckers gonna see. You gonna see this shit. And then, what else they tell us? They tell us that, right? From all of the flash floods, all of the floods, right? The soil ain't gonna be able to do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So they say that the soil is gonna rot within itself, right? So we ain't gonna be getting food. This is what's gonna cause the famine. Not only that, right? But the moisture and the drought. At the same time, y'all see how we having that shit at the same time? Some places hot as a motherfucker. Now I ain't talking about just local. Stop getting the local shit out your head, man. Get that shit out your head. I'm talking about nationwide, right? Y'all see like all these hundreds of people dying over in Mecca and all these different places and shit from heat waves and shit, right? So we got the heat going on, same time we got drought going on, rain going on and shit, right? So this shit gonna create these bugs. Even if the bugs already exist, it's gonna cause these motherfuckers to swarm in like plague-like numbers. You gonna see? Motherfuckers gonna see? Grasshoppers, plague-like numbers. Fucking crickets, plague-like numbers. Motherfuckers walk outside, crickets all everywhere. Like, goddamn, what the fuck? Crickets everywhere. They ain't gonna get on the news and say, we have entered a time of biblical destruction. They not gonna get on the news and say no shit like that. What they gonna tell you is, oh, they came up out of the ground. This hasn't happened in 200 years. All this stupid, goofy shit. Whole time you are witnessing something that is so motherfucking powerful. It's a lot of people before me and you that thought they was gonna witness this, that wish they would have witnessed what we are here sitting here witnessing on this planet right now. And this ain't none of that fake woke shit, none of that, oh, the Anunnaki coming, or oh, it's Leviathan and all. This is destruction has come upon the land. This is what the fuck this is. So when you see these people around here and they doing these exercises for these earthquakes, think it's a game. Okay? Think this shit is a game. They know what time it is. Continental drifts. Motherfucking shit gonna be, man, listen, the mudslides and shit we about to see, you don't see it. I ain't saying today, I ain't saying tomorrow, I don't know when this shit gonna happen. I ain't putting the time on it, but all I know is the things that I'm reading when they talk about the natural cataclysm, right? So these things gonna be natural. It's gonna be natural. They gonna increase. We already see the increase. Do y'all not know how much this shit compressed? The time has sped up with these disasters within a year time span, not even a year's time span. You go back to last year around this time and you look at the storms and shit we was having last year compared to now, just think of how bright your fucking future really is. Just think. Because nothing's going to slow down. Nothing's going back to how it was. Nothing. It's going to increase and increase and increase. And then they told you, motherfuckers, they sit here and told the whole world, I don't know if you've been watching, they told you guys that the oceans was going to collapse, right? In 2025. They said that. They came out and said that shit last year. They said the oceans might collapse in 2025. Nobody paid that no attention. Nobody, even though they barely tell, because they don't want to shock the masses. They don't want the masses out here, you know what I'm saying? And please like and subscribe. Y'all, I ain't really too good with this YouTube shit. I ain't really good with none of this stuff. I just get on here to try to spread the news, and some of these people be kicking me off, but they don't want the masses alarmed. They don't want you running around like a chicken with your head, because they know the numbers. They got to figure. They kind of, well, not the numbers, but I guess they looking at like areas such as, like it's this many people here and it's this many, but not too many people gonna leave and migrate away. So you hear what they say, right? Here's what they say. Right, they give an estimate of the people that's going to perish from this planet during this coming pole shift. This is what they say, right? So you go into a little bit deeper. They say, could it be? Now, this is what they said. Book written in like 2005, 6, probably even in the 90s. Just listen to what they say, right? Because they knew exactly what we seeing was coming. That's what I'm saying. When you sit here and you act like you don't know what you're seeing and shit, they told you about this 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago when they kept saying global warming. global warming, all the earth is heating up, all this. It's what you seeing is the results of what these motherfuckers was trying to tell you, right? They just changed the name, climate change, all this and that. They don't want you to, you know, get in it. But anyway, it says, could it be that the government and the insiders from NASA, they know all what's out there? They know, right? They say, could it be, right? Hey, close your door, Justice. Hey, close your door. They say, could it be that the CIA and NASA knows that 2/3 of the population of the planet could perish during this coming pole shift caused by the passage of this object, right? So they already know. They're not saying 2/3 of the population at once, but they're saying 2/3 of the population in total from this destruction, right? Now, pay attention to what these motherfuckers say. So then they go in deeper around the times of 2015 to 2025. And this is what they say, right? From 2015 to 2025. They say that this object is coming in. We have 7 years. They said 7 years prior to its coming, right? Prior to its coming. This is how we know that we in deep shit now. They know that they in deep shit. Might have thought that this was some type of fairy tale back then and all this. No, but this is real deal. This is some real deal shit that, you know, it's kind of like, I don't, it's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of like a movie or some type of horror movie or some type of sci-fi. So I don't know what the fuck to call this, right? Just know that everything that you see, all these storms that you see, all the storms, the tornadoes, all that shit, the hailstorms, the wind storms, ratios, all that shit, it's going to come a point to where that shit is happening on 80% of the map. Like, at one time, you going to literally, they going to turn on the news and they going to be, all you going to keep hearing these motherfuckers say is, I ain't never seen nothing like this. All of them. All of the news forecasters, they told you, it's written here in these books, they told you that the news forecasters going to get on the TV. This is what look what they say right here. Matter of fact, I can take this shit off of here, turn it around. Right? They say, first they go up, they say, expect increasing levels of disinformation from the mass media, right? During this time. Then they go up, they talked about the 2/3 of the population perishing during the coming pole shift, right? Then they go down here and they tell you have 7 years. We deep into this shit now. We so far up in this shit, man, listen. It don't even make sense to even, you know, only thing I can really get on here and do is tell my people. I can't get on here and act like there's some type of, you know, because if you go read the Bible, like, you know, all of us have been lied to. The Bible talks about strictly nothing but a coming destruction of natural disaster, plagues, famine, and pestilence. That's all that shit talk about. It literally talks about that. It literally talks about the Gentile nations being wiped out and most of his own people being wiped out in numbers, right? In order to correct the world. It literally talks about this shit, word for word. They have you thinking a fairy that now the way that we've been taught, the way that we've been taught is to look at this shit like a fairy tale. So when you hear certain things, it don't make no sense at all. Certain things don't make no sense at all, and then most of this shit is celestial. That's what they not telling. Some of these people, they did exist. And they was telling and talking about the stars and the greatness of the stars and all this and that. And, you know, when you think they got mathematics and fucking astrology and all this shit, they was talking about the fucking stars, dog. Most of these people. And the characters that was talking about the stars, they existed. Probably most of them. Probably. Don't quote me on this shit. I'm just saying. Right? So the time of, you know, they want us to think that there's this antichrist and all this. They want you to think all this shit is going to happen before you witness destruction or whatever, or you going to get sucked up in the air or took. Don't forget, anytime that you see yourself floating up or you're fucking dead, man. You dead. You dead. Any motherfucker being raptured is dead. I want you to know this. The Bible speaks of no rapture. The word rapture is not for all of these people that believe in this shit. The word rapture is not in the Bible, not one time. It's not there. You can't find that word not one time. They try to go off Luke. They try to go off Ecclesiastes and all this shit. Oh, we said 2 men was in the field. That don't mean that, man. These are metaphors. That don't mean that. Just because he said a metaphor of 2 men being in the field don't mean that's you. Is you ignorant? Is y'all crazy? It'd have been thousands of motherfuckers being taken up. Kids, you don't hear none of this. None of that's in there. Where they talk about, oh, what about the innocent children? You think the 2 men in the field is more important than the children? Where's the children during this time? This shit is not making sense. So all of the things that you've been told is a fairy tale. You have to go back and read this shit in order to forget everything that you ever learned. In order to understand what's going on right now, because they know. You don't know. Right? You don't know. So when you go back and you forget everything you was ever taught, I'm trying to read what y'all saying. Already unbelievable stuff. Yeah, it is. But you know, some people gonna think that this is the government. This is how programmed our people is. They believe the government. They don't know why the government is spreading chemtrails. They don't know why. But this is common sense. This is not to hurt you. Not to kill you, because if they wanted to, these motherfuckers could hurt you. Right? They already made majority of you motherfuckers take vaccines that they didn't even have for a year. You know, you was already used as a hamster a couple times. This ain't the first time that these motherfuckers have done this, right? Then they have your food. They give you your food, all this shit, your medication, all of that. So if they wanted to kill you, it ain't got to be through the fucking sky. I don't know. And then y'all act like they not breathing this shit in. Like they not walking around. Y'all see all of the fucking presidents and governors and all this shit walking around daily before COVID happened, and because chemtrails they've been doing this shit for a long time. For those of y'all that don't really know what that is, they really probably blocking out sun rays, certain sun spectrums and shit like that. The sun been hot for a long time, man. The sun been ticking up for a long time. You motherfuckers just don't know. The sun probably would have been killed. That's a long time. How they not perfected the shit that they using right now on this planet. When it comes to chemtrails and it comes to HAARP and all this, they what the fuck y'all think they make HAARP for? They gotta make it rain in certain areas. They gotta do certain shit. You probably would have been dead a long time ago, man. Y'all don't know the destruction that is coming from natural disaster, man. And see what it is they've been throwing it off. They've been throwing it off and throwing it off and throwing it. Because man, you got to think. Man is the most powerful thing next to a God here on this land. That's why you got hands and feet. You can touch, grab, do. You can do a lot. You got dominion. When the Bible said that man was given dominion over the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field, this is true, fam. That's why everything that exists around you, this is how powerful that man is. Never forget that. This is how powerful that man is. Everything around man that he makes come from the land. Everything. TVs, desks, everything that they using from the inside to the outside, that shit that came from the land, or sometimes they say it fell from the sky. Whatever type of minerals or metals they using, or woods and all this and that, the plastic they making and all that shit come from the landfill. So look how powerful the earth is, and then look how powerful man is. Look at cars and shit. Cars don't just operate with wheels in the frame. You got all type of shit in the car. Alternators, fucking transmissions, engines, all that. You got to get, for people to sit back and not realize how powerful men really are, for them to say where we came from. And you look at technology now, fam. Ain't no telling how long these people have been throwing off these storms, fam. It's just this how powerful this shit has become to get. That whatever they was using or whatever they've been creating or coming up with to stop what's happening now, it's not working anymore. I don't give a fuck if it's CERN. They could have threw us in 10, 20, 30. Because I could have sworn. Now, we ain't going to get on this. I ain't going to talk about this. But I could have sworn Richard Simmons was dead. Could have sworn that motherfucker was dead. Now, we ain't going to get into that. We ain't going to go into that, though. We ain't going to even go into that. But, yeah. Ain't no telling that they done threw us in different timelines or whatever. But now, the shit has come to a head. The things has. If you out here and you watching your local news or your nightly news or daily news, and you ain't catching the weather, when these motherfuckers say 10 tornadoes went through Illinois, all this and that, the weather anomalies that you're seeing now definitely ain't right. All right, because we've been getting little tornado warnings and all that shit. We don't get that shit here in Wisconsin like we do on the outskirts, you know, farmland and all that shit, tornadoes and shit. But in the inner cities and shit, in our inner cities, just like Chicago having that shit, wait, just watch. It's gonna be all around. They know it's coming. They know. This is why it's so crazy, because they got you motherfuckers. They sitting up here telling people, oh, you ain't never in your life. I don't give a fuck how old you is. You ain't never heard of a exercise for earthquakes. The fuck? You never heard of that. Then, right? They got so much information out here. Now it's on you to go out here and get it. You see this book right here? Look at this. See that? See how thin that book is? You know what? This motherfucker talk about when this object come in, right? Where it will be seen, right? Things that it will cause, flooding. I keep telling y'all, flooding. You see it. The tilt. They talk about the earth falling, leaning towards, racing towards the poles, going towards Siberia. You see this shit. Bird deaths. I told you. That's gonna be one of the biggest catches right there. The bird deaths. When you catch that. Meteors. What were they talking about yesterday in New Jersey? Oh, there's a meteor. Blah, this is. I'm telling you, boy, this shit it's getting real. Earthquakes. They told you. The earthquakes, the high precipitation, the fucked up dew points, all of this shit is talked about. They talked about this for 20, 30 years. That's what I'm saying. The information is here. Now, you got your own free will on spending your money on what you want to spend your money on. You have your own free will to go look up some shit in the phone. Like the shit I'm saying. Don't believe me. Don't listen to me. It's on you to go do your own. That's why I don't tell y'all names of books. None of that shit. Because if you want to know, you're going to go find that book. Because it's out here. I'm not the writer of that motherfucker. How you think I got my hands on it? How you think I got all these different books I can sit here and tell you? Now, every day I wait on these motherfuckers to tell us, or my earthquake Richter to go off with California getting hit with like an 8-point, 9-point earthquake, because it's coming. They already wrote that shit, right? They talked about these flash floods, literally. They talked about the flash floods, all the flash floods and shit. They talked about California being wiped off, and then not wiped off, but you know, like all of these sudden earthquakes happening and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they talked about other earthquakes happening in other places because landslides and shit, mountains falling off in water and shit, all type of crazy shit. They literally talked about this shit 20, 30 years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy that we here witnessing it. I'm sitting here witnessing it. I ain't too much on the internet like I used to be about it, because I used to be on this shit night and day, trying to warn people. Hey man, look, pole shift coming. You know what I'm saying? That pole shift that's coming is your end of the world, though. That's what you've been taught. But they done came and they done switched shit up so many. You gotta remember, this story has been told thousands and thousands of years because it has happened 2 or 3 times. This story all around the world when it comes to what's happening right now. That's why it's happening all around the world. Because this shit happened all around the world when it happened the last time and the time before that. It happened all around the world. That's why you go anywhere, they got a fucking, I don't give a damn where you go, somewhere they have a story of a flood. You go, you look, you know, some of these motherfuckers ain't have phones. You gotta remember back then, we barely had anything but a fucking kite. You send some mail. You know what I'm saying? We really didn't have shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember back then, I grew up when motherfuckers had pagers. We ain't have cell phones. Motherfucker, you had to get a page, then go to a phone, a pay phone or some shit, or a house phone, and call that number. If it wasn't, you know, motherfucker paid you 911, that's emergency. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go get to that, or if it's just a regular number, you know, it's a beeper. Y'all, I don't know, too many people don't know about that shit back then, but technology now is way different than it was back then. Okay? Shit is a whole lot different, man. But yeah, you're gonna see a lot. That's all I'm here to say, man. I ain't here to, you know, what they call that shit, fearmonger and shit. I'm just here to tell you, look at what you finna see around you. Just look at now. Just look, you gonna see these flash floods. If you ain't witnessing it, because it might happen where you at. So if you ain't witnessing it, you gonna see it. From the news, Facebook, TikTok, somewhere. You gonna see this shit. And you're going to see how bad it get, because it's going to keep increasing. Nothing's going to go back the same. Nothing. When it comes to the weather, when these people get on the news and they debates and shit, they be, oh, what you going to do about climate change? Nothing, motherfucker. There's nothing. Listen, if there was anything that they can do, I don't give a fuck. If you stop making stoves, you can stop making cars with gas all you want to. That has nothing to do with what's taking place. This shit literally happened. Like, I don't know why, but it happens. When you go read this, we ain't gonna get into it, because it's too much to do. But when you go read that shit, you figure out, all these biblical stories the same. They all talk about different shit, but they all the same, man. It's all the same shit, basically. And they all talking about the heavens. I don't know if this is why they really want to keep you out the sky, because you gonna see some weird shit. These meteors they're gonna be coming, them bitches gonna be green, blue, red. Y'all ain't seen shit. Shit gonna be different colors. Like, that's powerful. You gotta really think. Why y'all think y'all seeing the skies, the shadows of doom and shit, the different signs, a straight line of a whole straight different colors, and y'all out here playing with the Most High, like as if the rainbow ain't the sign of the last covenant. That's the sign of the rainbow is literally the sign of the last covenant. You motherfuckers sitting out here playing with the Most High like this shit is a game. That's why all the signs you see in the sky, I mean, this shit still stand. That was that promise. That right there, when you seeing these they don't even be rainbows. You know how a rainbow be for one? It be a line. Straight color, straight shit you ain't ever seen. Like real color. Like, damn, what the fuck is that? Lines in the sky, different things, different, like crazy shit. Those are different signs, man. You take it for what you want. If you ain't never really, because we reading the Bible from a man perspective, but I'm telling you, everything that in the Bible that they translated how they wanted to, from their understanding. People, these not the motherfuckers that wrote this shit. They translated this to their people for them to have more understanding, not telling they folks that, hey, this shit is about the cosmos, most of it. Like, it ain't really about, they got their man coming telling people about the greatness of the Most High, which is nature, and, in spirit, and you, and the temple of man, and all. They got people coming telling you about that. But this story has been told so fucking long that now they really think this shit is about men. Like, you really sit here, they talk about Jesus and God. That shit is about the sun, the waters, all the waters in the land, all this. It's not really, it's about this other object that's coming in, that's coming to destroy, do destruction. But when it comes in, a certain people awaken. It's called the Christ consciousness, I guess you can call it that. But it's not no man coming. You ain't gonna see shit. Why you think the so-called Jesus, all the metaphors he ever spoke, he was talking to, I didn't come to, he heard what he said. He said he didn't even come to bring peace to the world, but a sword, right? He's this great consciousness. Like when certain parts of the cosmos go into certain alignments and shit, these things happen. As above, so below. The cosmos is working with men. Even when certain alignments happening with different planets like Mars and all these other different planets, time of war and murder and shit like that. Why you think you see the shit you see now on the planet? Like, life ain't worth shit no more. A person will literally kill your ass in the McDonald's or something and probably never get caught. Literally. Come to McDonald's, kill you, 3-4 other motherfuckers, never get caught. Why you think this can happen? Why y'all think that can happen now? Like, everything that was wrong when we was growing up, like shit that was wrong, you couldn't get away with. Now you do that shit all out in the open. Nobody cares. It's like, it's crazy. Like, it's a whole different world now. If you can't see that the more that we enter into this sinful, whatever the fuck it is, whatever type of thing we done crossed over to, the more natural disaster becomes like destructive. Like nature becomes angry. I don't know if y'all see this shit. We going to war for sure. This is for sure. And this is over land and fresh water. That's what they not telling you, motherfuckers. The whole time y'all thinking, it's about Ukraine because, Russia is gonna be the new North Pole. They know that. That shit is written. It's all right here. You see this shit right here? This is all here. You see there where it's underlined? See that right there? The Russians preparing to invade Ukraine, all over a pole shift, man. All over because continental drifts. Like, you can see this shit, man. This is all over a pole shift, right? When you go deep, you see I believe the next North Pole will be in Siberia, northwest of Lake Baikal, whatever the fuck it is, near the borders of Russia in the Mongolia. There's a large magnetic anomaly there, right? So they knew that was going to take place. But go look it up right now. It's happening right now. Go look it up, right? So in the beginning, they go back, they tell you, right? Now these are all different types of scientists and shit. But I want y'all to see something, one thing, what they say about Russia, right? Right here, right? The magnetic poles have been shifting towards Russia at a rate of over 40 miles per year. But when this object, right, arrives, the physical poles will shift, creating a variety of tsunamis, hyper earthquakes of never before experienced magnitude and shiftings of the land masses. So this is what I talk about when I'm talking about California being gone because of the earthquakes that's going to occur on the fault lines as this motherfucker draws near. They talk about that. Florida, the Keys, all that shit. They talk about all of it, everything. They talk about all this. They give you dates. Look, 2015 to 2025. It's damn near your time. They telling you. Now, I don't too much know what the dates mean, but I know these motherfuckers told us that we gonna start to see this weather, right? Now, a lot of people probably lost their life to tell us this information and put this information in these books, man. It's just y'all don't know about it. But a lot of people have probably lost their life, man. You tell me how they can write about, now, no matter how much you can say, oh, it's the government, oh, it's scripted, all this. No, these whistleblowers and shit. These motherfuckers know that's how they can tell you 20 years from now. Some of these people probably dead in jail, probably died from heart attacks that wasn't heart attacks, being poisoned and shit. You never knew. But when some shit is written so good that it's written like this, when you find something that's so detailed, right? When they go in and talk about if Russia and China knew, right, the major powers, right? Because this was the book written back then, I guess, to where they probably ain't really have no clue. But I'm thinking they knew already. But they said that if these people, the major powers of Russia and China, if they knew, right, they said they would make some hostile moves. They said if they knew the secret of the incoming object. They said this guy, Father Malachi Martin, agreed and wrote in his book, The Keys of This Blood, where the leaders, y'all know these people, the Lionist Party, state, to know these words, they would in all probability decide to undertake certain territorial militaristic moves against which the West could have few, if any, means of resisting. An invasion of Central Europe, South Asia, and the Middle East would probably occur at the same time by the Russians and China. This may be one of the reasons the Russians are preparing to invade Ukraine. So how could they write about that and say this shit years ago, and at the same time they tell you all of the destruction, right? All of the storms, they tell you that the North Pole was racing towards Russia at an alarming rate. This is why you got to believe that the Bible is real, because the Most High literally says this. Just listen to what he says. He says that he is a man of war, right? He said he was going to cause men to invade one another. From the east, from the south, from Lebanon. He said from the rising of the sun, right? This is what the man, he literally said, I don't know if y'all be listening to this, but how would he cause these men to invade one another but through natural disaster? Like, because they know what's coming. They know, they got the technology right now to understand just how they can write in this book how the North Pole's been rushing towards Russia and all this and that, and the magnetic anomaly that's happening over there by the Y'all don't think Russia know that shit? Like, come on now, like, y'all think that these people could, ask yourself, man, do y'all not know that the Russians got some of the coldest technology? You ever played James Bond, motherfucker? Like, you know, some real shit. Like, and this was back then in the 90s, motherfucker, we playing this shit. So ask yourself this, like, these people had suitcase bombs and laser watches and all, laser guns and shit. That shit real. You don't think that them people got that shit for real? You don't think, you ain't never heard of the suitcase bomb that the motherfuckers came with, and they damn near got them motherfuckers here, sleeper cells and shit with suitcase bombs around this motherfucker. They've been had here since fucking World War II probably. They got this, these people really, this shit exists, man. That's why you think they got some of the coldest tech. Why you think they was the first ones to perfect and motherfucking distribute a hypersonic missile? You think that, now ask yourself, you don't think that they got hypersonic planes and shit? Y'all don't think this? Y'all don't think that they have hypersonic drones and shit like that? The fuck is you people crazy, man? And then y'all was sitting here like the United States tell y'all that they know exactly how many bombs these people got. They know all it. They don't know what these motherfuckers got. How could you win a war and your enemy know what they up against? What type of sense is we making here, people? Some of the shit that we listen to, that's what I'm saying. Like, when we sit here, we talk about these wars, this war gonna happen. Motherfuckers, like, this shit gonna happen without a doubt. Because there's gonna be land mass, like fresh water. Because a lot of lakes and shit gonna be gone. A lot of shit that we use now that we come accustomed to, that shit gonna be gone. They literally talk about Wisconsin turning into a, they said Wisconsin used to be a lake. I'm here in Wisconsin. They literally said the motherfucker is a whole like bowl, like lake, because it's surrounded by all of the, you know, we surrounded by all of the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, lakes, and all these different lakes. Not only that, the Missouri River, the Mississippi River, all this. They say all these motherfuckers don't, and you starting to see it now, right? Because you can't stop nature. So you seeing these dams being broke. Now imagine this. Just actually, you see how they told motherfuckers to get ready to evacuate out of Tennessee, Illinois, or whatever the fuck. What was that shit called? Huntsville, Illinois. Something they talking about a dam that's gonna break all. Just imagine the dams starting to break all at once. Ain't none of these people gonna be, how they gonna fix these dams? You know that water is the most powerful, hardest, motherfucking heaviest thing that you can come up against. There's no way that it's gonna take time and time in the day. And if this shit get to happening here, there, look what they say right here, right? Let's go a little bit deeper into this subject, right? Look what these motherfuckers say right here about this flooding, right? They go in. Got this off of here, man. Look what they say. They say, as this object passes the Earth, it will affect the gravitational pull of the Earth. There will increase the amount of turbulence in the ocean waves, just as the moon affects the waters of the Earth. They said the United States will be flooded. Not completely, but the coast of California will be gone, right? Gone. Then they say, as well as the Gulf Coast and all of the East Coast states will be flooded. Plus, the Missouri River will be flooded all the way up to the Michigan Lakes. Now, if you motherfuckers don't know what the Michigan Lakes is, the Lake Michigan is down to the biggest lake ever. The biggest lake. Lake Michigan is around down there like all of the states, all of the Midwest states. It's like it's Missouri, Illinois, motherfucking Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, all of them. Even when they changed all of that's Lake Michigan. So when now you see the floods we having, right? Y'all see that shit? Rain for fucking a year worth of rain falling fucking an hour, 30 minutes. Cause flash floods and shit. Rain all the way, flood water all the way up to cars. To listen, just think though. Rain all the way up to roofs of cars and shit. So imagine, right? We seeing this already. You see what they talk about right here? Right? Hold on, let's go a little bit deeper. If we seeing this already, right? And this what they say, right? We seeing this. See this? Right? Because shit gonna get worse. So we seeing the average magnitude earthquakes increase, right? That's what they say. They will continue to increase. And hurricanes and tornadoes will be far more powerful. We are seeing that, right? The weather patterns. Focus on the weather patterns, people. The weather patterns have reversed themselves, or they in the middle of it. That's why the jet stream be so fucked up, and they can't understand what is happening with the jet stream. That's what they be saying on the news. I have never seen nothing like this. Yeah, I know. But it's out here. It's written. Trust me. When they were saying global warming 20 years ago, you motherfuckers should have listened. We should have listened, man. And now I mean, ain't nothing I don't think we could have been able to do, but anyway, they say the weather patterns will be more extreme all around the world, right? So here's the freaky part right here. That's why I highlighted it. Now you see what's going on in Texas. Remember, just pause. You all go witness. They say the more prolonged drought, right? The more prolonged drought, all the droughts we be having, long-term droughts, and periods of severe rainfall, they say that will no longer be the exception. They say they will be the rule. You see that? You see that? That's why they ain't gonna be able to stop. They gonna, hey man, listen, flash floods and droughts gonna be every fucking where. All right? All right? They say they gonna be the rule. They say, consequently, global weather patterns will reverse themselves. Y'all see that? Global weather patterns will reverse themselves. And where there was rain, there will be drought. Vice versa, right? So they talk about all those fucking floods. I mean, rain and floods and shit. That's coming. That shit coming, man. You already see the fucking the earthquakes. So then they go on to talk about these global weather patterns. The global weather patterns will become violent as summer and winter merge into a single season, right? They say, now y'all see that wind, those ratios and shit? Y'all see it? Uh-huh. They say, major coastal cities will be ground to pieces under angry seas, right? Part of the atmosphere could become ionized and become poisonous to breathe to entire regions of the planet and become poisonous to all forms of life, right? The Earth's power grids and transportations and systems and communications and all this shit. This how they know about all this, right? This how they know about. Ask yourself, how the fuck, right? Do they know about the increase in how our electricity gonna go out? It's not a matter of, I mean, it's not about if, it's just a matter of time, like, you know, when. So you motherfuckers better get used to living with, you know, they probably got, we in 2024, so they probably got all type of, you know, like big ass generators and shit like that, like, you know, but some of this stuff gonna be fried, like, you know, over with, done. And a lot of humanity ain't gonna survive off that shit, so that's gonna be another thing motherfucker gotta get used to, because we have become so accustomed to lights, and you can go in and turn your stove on and turn your light on when you get ready to. Motherfuckers who can't live without that gonna perish, man. You out of here, out the door. Can't live without that shit, you gone. Hey, come turn this AC on, man. I have to keep the AC on, talk to y'all. It's hot as a motherfucker. But anyway, yeah, just be looking out. Never mind, dude. Just go. Just be looking out for the floods and shit, man. The tornadoes and all that, because you gotta see them. You're gonna witness these things, man. Yeah. You're gonna witness these things, you know? Just watch. Tornadoes, the shit gonna be all around the fucking planet. It ain't gonna even be in one spot. So it ain't gonna be no way you ain't gonna see what's going on. People need to stop and understand what is happening right now. You know, it might be fun to sing and dance and jump around and hoot and holler and all that shit, but the fucked up thing is when you know, even if you can't do nothing, at least you will know what's happening. At least you recognize what's happening. You see it. You recognize the weather's getting worse, yeah. But if you don't see it, man, this shit gonna hit you like a hammer in the head, man.
Yeah, I know how to clean the cupboard.
Okay, because I'm gonna tell y'all one thing.
Okay.
FEMA ain't got that much money for what's coming. I'm gonna let you know that. FEMA ain't got no money, man. Not for what's coming. Not for what's happening. All these disasters gonna be all. Just watch at the end of the year how many natural disasters being hit all around the world. They ain't got no money for this shit. All around the planet, these motherfuckers gonna be. Houses gonna be destroyed. Downtown areas and all that places where you ain't never seen tornadoes come through, right? Knocking out windows. Wind. They call it ratios. Shit like that. Wait till the California getting hit with the atmospheric rivers and shit again. All the storms and shit that's coming up off they ain't telling you all that. Right now, so you know about what's happening right now with the storms and shit that's coming up, but they not telling you about the storm that's coming from the west and going towards the east. They not telling you that. That's why I can say and tell you, get ready. Get prepared, because I know. I seen it. I'm watching these motherfuckers. I'm seeing it through independent TikTokers and YouTubers and all that. The news ain't gonna get on here and show you the news for 2 weeks, like 2-3 weeks ahead of time. Like, look at this. I ain't talking about sunny days and rain and shit like that, or if it's hot, if it's cold. I'm talking about this shit that's coming off this water. These energy systems and shit, because that's what it is. It ain't just no storm. This ain't your everyday thunder and lightning and all that shit. This ain't that. These are energy systems. Motherfucker, they coming together in real life, coming to kill and destroy. Motherfuckers, so get the fuck out the way. You better have a master plan. You better have a plan, boy. Because ain't nothing gonna get better. It's only gonna get worse. And it's for everybody that's watching. Everybody. Natural disaster is plaguing the land. Worldwide. This is not no home shit, no nationwide. This is worldwide. And if once you see what we up against, because it's we as a people, you know, it's we. Some days, like I said, sun shining on my house, It might be raining on yours. It might be the end of your world. Why it's still the sun shining on mine. You know, you could be experiencing earthquakes, thunderstorms, tornadoes, all that shit. And I'm over here drinking, smoking. You know, I don't know what's going on with you until I hear about it. But don't get it twisted. It's coming to a place near you. Everything that everybody else witnessing, they seeing. Whether it's the wind, the hail, the tornadoes, or the hurricane force wind shit. The atmospheric rivers, flash floods, whatever it is. Whatever you gonna get a taste of, you gonna see it. And then it's gonna increase and increase and increase and increase, and it's gonna get more deadly and deadly. You see already, and we ain't even made the middle of what we at? Almost in the we in the middle. But you see already 14 people dead from that hurricane just over there. Not a lot, but for it to happen in June, it's kind of frightening because what's gonna happen in only the next coming days and weeks? What's gonna happen then?